Probably a mix of both. It was definitely like just being surrounded by those mountains and the nature and the incredible set that they created in the background. It was really idyllic for a vacation, for a holiday maybe, but like once you actually have to start working in the sand and the heat and the sweat, there's some issues arise. So yeah, it was a very interesting experience to be filming there, but also just like because we were filming during a pandemic, it was also just really surreal to be anywhere away from home. So yeah.
This film really capitalizes on a universal fear of death.
Mm-hmm.
What is scary to you about getting older, losing time?
Yeah, I think I don't know. That's a not a fear for everybody, but that's something, the idea of aging and of death, and of like just like the fear of the unknown. You never know what's gonna happen. Is something that people are constantly thinking about. For me, I'm not so much afraid of death as I am of just like health in general. So kind of the idea of like, I don't know, just like everything, all of these health issues coming on all at once is like, would be terrifying to me. Luckily for Maddox, she's a pretty healthy human being, so she didn't have to deal with too much of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know, the themes of the script are things that are constantly on everyone's minds, and I think themes that really drew me in the first place, because something that I get really excited about through acting and through telling stories is just like the exploration of different ideas and different ways of life or experiences. So yeah, this was a great opportunity for me to reflect on my own relationship with time.
It's also this wonderfully diverse cast. I mean, like the entire globe basically is represented.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I know that was really important to M. Night. Why do you think it's important for this story to be told through all of those different people's perspectives?
Yeah, well, it's just real life, isn't it? Like that's a really great point, and that's another thing that really drew me to doing the film is of how amazingly diverse it was and how representative it is of the real world. We're not all one color, we're not all from one place. The people come from all areas of the world, and it's just like cool to see people like just coming together. So yeah, it's just important to have everyone represented fairly.
Family, parenthood, also really big themes in this movie. How did that resonate for you throughout the story?
Yeah, I think during the pandemic, I kind of came to a big realization that my parents aren't indestructible beings. They've got their own feelings and their own fears and their own struggles that they're dealing with, which every kind of teenager comes to realize eventually, and that it's not just about them caring for you, but also you caring for them, and being there for them. And so I think Maddox really realizes that throughout the film, that her parents aren't perfect, and that's just something that you've got to deal with because we're all figuring things out. So yeah, just to focus on like the love, more so than all the other stuff.
Very quickly, last question. There was a podcast recently where they talked about how the older people get, the less interest they have in time travel. They don't want to be in the past, they don't want to be in the present, or in the future, they just want to be right here in the present. And that's a huge theme in this movie. Did making it in any way change how you spend your time?
I think so. I hope it did. I think it definitely made me think a lot more about how I spend my time, and kind of reminded me to be in the present rather than thinking or worrying about what's to come, or agonizing over like dumb things I've done in the past. Because I was listening to a meditation the other day, and the guy running the meditation, I think it was like the Sam Harris app, Waking Up, and he said something about this moment we're in right now being the only real moment, and not to kind of get distracted by the past or the future. So yeah, it kind of is just like a good reminder, and it's impossible to to be able to handle life perfectly or handle your time perfectly. So it's you gotta take it all as it comes and try to enjoy things as much as possible.